Over the past year, there has been a lot of speculation about you guys. Where do you guys stand right now?
Well, now it's at a point where
I read that you guys were crying on set, or things got very emotional on set of the video.
we've lived through these moments. It left everyone speechless.
It made me sad that you called her America's sweetheart and you the bad guy.
It's like the natural persona assumption. It's like, oh, this guy's the piece of he's the bad guy.
There's so much to celebrate, I feel like, in your life right now. Let's start with single number 3, America's Sweetheart.
I feel so alone in a crowded place.
The video has almost 8 million views right now on YouTube. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, how are you feeling about the reception of the song?
I mean, honestly, it's unreal, and I didn't even think any of this would happen the way it all happened, but it's been amazing so far.
I won't even lie if you left me here.
Who has inspired you the most, and how would you kind of describe the music that you're making?
I've got so much inspiration from many different artists. A lot of Travis and MGK's new stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the early 2000s, and a lot of like classic rock, stuff like that. So I've been taking little bits of inspiration from all over the place and kind of seeing where it gets me.
You worked with Travis Barker on the eulogy of You and Me, right? How was it to work with him, knowing that he was such an influence to you?
Honestly, crazy as hell. He's been working with me on this entire album that's going to be coming this summer. He worked with me on 21st and the eulogy of You and Me, and he did a killer job, and like the drums really speak for themselves. Like Travis is just a god at what he does.
He's a maniac. I mean, I've seen him a few times play live, and I am always like, how do your arms go that fast?
Oh, it's the same. It's the same in the studio. Like,
is it really?
Yes, he's just mad at what he does, and it's insane to watch.
Did he give you any advice on either making music or on fame?
He'll talk about like little things while we're in the studio that I just pick up on, but anytime that he opens his mouth, everyone in the room just listens. You know what I mean? He's one of those people. He's just so wise that everyone just listens to what he has to say.
It's so funny because I feel like him and Courtney are like the mom and dad of the TikTok world right now.
Dude, their relationship, I love it. I think it's so cute.
I do too. I ship it.
I do too.
Let's go back to America's Sweetheart. I guess, what does the song mean to you? You've said it's autobiographical. You've said it's your most personal song you've ever written about the worst night in your life.
Basically, like right in the beginning of quarantine when we all got locked up, it was just a really time for me. I'd just gotten out of a relationship and I was not allowed to leave my house. And so I felt very alone during this time. And me and the person that we had split with, which is Charli, we just decided to be friends. And it was really hard for the two of us during quarantine. When I started songwriting, I was like, why don't I just be real with everybody? And it came to this point where I was like, well, this is one of like the worst nights of my life. Why don't I channel this certain emotion and write about it?
Was it hard for you to get to that place, or was it almost, I guess, therapeutic in a way?
Honestly, it felt like relieving writing the song. It kind of flowed out of me pretty naturally. I wrote it in about an hour.
Wow, the whole song? That's amazing. The video, I feel like, is so visual. It starts off with Charli literally pulling you out of what I think is a grave.
Yeah.
What does that symbolize?
It's her pulling me out of the ground and like saving me from all of like this pain that the world like has given me, I guess.
I read that you guys were crying on set, or things got very emotional on set of the video.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. There's something about the slow dance scene that was just so moving. Like I could feel Charli's hands like shaking in my arms. I was like, oh my God, like this is so sad. I mean, there's so much emotion for everyone. It's like it's not even like real shit. This is real life. Like we've lived through these moments, and so being able to like hear this song and hear the actual emotional value that it has, while we just like sit there and like literally rock back and forth. That's what slow dancing is. It's like, it was just powerful, I guess. It left everyone speechless.
Either way, I feel alone.
sometimes people forget that this is actual real life. Over the past year, there has been a lot of speculation about you guys. Where do you guys stand right now?
Well, now it's at a point where we become friends and been able to mature and grow together because of like everything that the internet has done. Like we just kind of have been able to maturely make a decision that we should just be friends and kind of stay strong and just like live our lives. You know, we're very there for each other, and we still connect on a very deep level. Like we have a great friendship going on, and yeah, I don't know.
I feel like no one will ever experience what you guys have experienced with the TikTok of it all and experiencing this burst of fame at the same time. And it must be wild to see how the internet, I guess, impacted your friendship, your relationship, whatever it may be. Was that hard?
Yeah, I mean, the internet, I feel like, makes it really hard for people today. It brings such a spotlight on things, and it can like intensify things and make things more stressful. So for certain people, I have a friend, Nick Austin, who's been like dating someone and just doing his thing and having like a private relationship. Like he's so much happier handling it privately, I guess.
Is that what you think you'll do with your next relationship?
I don't know if or when there is a next relationship, but maybe.
Let's go back to the song though. I mean, it is inspired by her. You said that. In your eyes, what makes her America's sweetheart?
Well, to the internet and to like her persona, she's just been this sweet kid from the go. Like literally not a flaw, just a very sweet, like outgoing, bubbly human being. Like that's Charli. That's who she is. And so being able to find the right word for that, like hearing America's Sweetheart, it's like, oh, like this makes sense. And it did the first time it came to my head.
I'm the bad guy and you're America's sweetheart.
It made me sad that you called her America's sweetheart and you the bad guy, because I feel like in a lot of ways you're also a sweetheart to so many people, and even just talking to you.
Well,
Why
thank
did you
you.
call yourself that?
Well, I mean, a lot of people have their own perception on me or who I am, and just like what they think I am as a person. And a lot of people just think I'm a bad guy before they even get to know me. So it's like the natural persona assumption. It's like, oh, this guy's the piece of he's the bad guy, and this is America's sweetheart. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry that you felt that people thought that. Do you feel like that's shifting a little bit?
I mean, I hope.
How did she feel about the song when she heard it the first time, knowing that it was about her?
Oh, well, I told her straight away. I was just like, hey, like, I want to tell you this. Like, I want to show you the song. Like, I wanted to tell you what it's about. And she cried the first time she listened to it.
That's so sweet. She's
Yeah.
a sweetheart. As you've been, I guess, releasing music and going through a pandemic, your career continuing to skyrocket, what have you learned most about yourself over the past year or so?
I feel like I've learned a lot. I've learned patience. I've really learned myself a lot. Like I really been able to find myself, find where I want to go to next, which like helped me find and come to music. Really, like it gave me the time and the chance to really figure myself out there, and that like take those 8 months to write and to get in the studio and all that kind of stuff. Like that's something I wouldn't have been able to just even think about if quarantine wasn't a thing.
America's Sweetheart, while sad in tone, I think also shows proof that you can come out of the other side of a dark time. In a way, I guess, was that also part of the message you were hoping to put out there? And
Yeah.
how do you think you pulled yourself out of that dark time?
Well, I really pulled myself out of a dark time through music, really. Being able to write and to just be in the studio all the time gave me like a heartwarming feeling. And it was very, very therapeutic for me to just sit in the studio and write for hours.
Was it liberating or scary to be so vulnerable about your life and what you've been going through as you were just writing for hours?
Oh God, I mean, dude, it was so like, this is probably my most vulnerable song by like a mile. Like the song, it's just so like minimalist to the way that I'm just being vulnerable in every word that I like put into that song. I don't even know how to explain it.
You said it's your most vulnerable, but you also told me that your album is coming this summer.
I did tell you that.
I'm so excited to hear this album, by the way. Is it done? Is it almost done? What's inspiring the whole album?
Well, what really inspired this project is like my entire life. I've been through a lot of relationships, and I really wanted to talk about all of them, but not in any order. And I wanted to just write an entire album just based off of my love life and like how it's gone and how it usually goes. And then like each song portrays a certain emotion that taps into a certain emotion for each song, and it's all in order, and it's just one long story, and it's great.
Having used your entire love life, not just the one relationship, as inspiration, I guess, what do you feel like you've learned most about love as you reflect on all of those and as you
I've learned a lot about love. I feel like love is something that's you definitely need to be patient with, and it's a hard thing, and it takes a lot of time. It's not easy, but take your time, and if it's right, it's right.
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I get the sense that you're a guy who loves love.
I do love love, and I'm I guess like a hopeless romantic. I'm very patient with who I pick and choose, and I'm not in any rush.
Is there anyone that you're dying to work with? Are we gonna get a Travis collab, an MGK collab?
I have no idea who I'm gonna collab with in the future, but I'm dying to do a collab. I'm dying.
Who's your number one on the top of the wish list?
Maybe like Green Day. Probably Green Day.
That would be so epic. I feel like
so
you could make that happen. When I was at the Hype House, you did tell me that you wanted to get into music. I love that quarantine sort of enabled you to get to the point where you can make music a focus.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like it's all happening? What do the next 5 years of your music, I guess, look like in your mind?
Well, at this point in time, I don't really know, because I'm literally just starting out. It's all crazy and it's all new to me, and so with it being so fresh, I have no idea what the next 5 years looks like. But I'm more than excited to see where it takes me.
Will you go on tour once the pandemic is over?
Yes.
Yes!
That's all I want to do. I want to get out on the road so bad. I want to travel and see everyone. Like, that's like the best feeling about making music and having people that support you, is being able to like hug them and show them like love back that they give to you.
I feel like you're in such a good place. I feel like you just seem so mature right now and so well spoken, and I do feel like
Thank you.
you've really come into your own. It's so nice.
Yeah, it's taken me a while. I mean, I've grown up a little bit, and I've started hanging out with more like adults and stuff. So I've been maturing a little bit.
It's no secret too that you are a heartthrob. I mean, millions of people follow you. How does it feel having that title? I mean, are you embracing the fans and the fame? Does it ever feel rough?
I love all the love that they give me. It's honestly flattering. But I never know what to do about it. I'm just like, oh, thank you guys. Like, oh, I love you.
How would you describe your album in 3 words?
3 words. 3 words. Okay. I would describe it as love. Love's definitely one of them. Heartbreak, and angst. Like half the album. It's about like not just love, but about the heartbreaks, like about the bad times, and like both the good and the bad, and like the middle in between. Like there's two sides to the story. It's cool.